Today is once again February 11th. Rob here. I am an alcoholic. So honored to be here again this morning. Yeah, you're not going crazy. We have another listener email, and this is from a dear friend that I've kind of corresponded with a few times over the last year or so. His name's Henry, a fellow punk rock fan like me. And anyway, he wrote in, and he had some really valuable things to say. He talks a little bit about, his life prior to drinking, but mainly he focuses on what finally brought him into the fellowship in the program. So I'll go ahead and read his email, and then he has a follow-up email as well. And he had some really kind things to say about the podcast, so thank you, Henry, so much for that. But yeah, here is part of Henry's story. Hey, Rob. I tell folks in the room that I've gone about getting sober all wrong, kind of ass backwards, but here's my story. A long time ago, maybe 15 or 20 years back, I stopped drinking. Went 5 years cold turkey. It was good. Felt great. But after 5 years, I started up again thinking that I could moderate. I did actually, for a while. But then drinking too much crept up on me again. So in August 2024, the inner voice in me was getting louder and louder, telling me to quit. I finally listened. But I was phobic about AA. I stopped on my own and became a student of sobriety. I committed myself to reading about or listening to something recovery related for at least 30 minutes every day. I read some books. The Naked Mind, A Million Little Pieces, One Breath at a Time. I listened to various sobriety podcasts. I was on Reddit every day, reading and occasionally posting. I'm no longer Catholic, and a few years ago became a practicing Buddhist. One book I read, One Breath at a Time by Kevin Griffin, connects Buddhism and the 12 steps. After finishing it, I realized I needed to actually learn about the steps themselves. So I ordered a copy of the big book and began reading. But I was still very phobic about AA and had no interest in walking to a meeting. Along the way, I started listening to Big Book daily during my morning walks. It helped me better understand what I was reading and made the material more approachable. Hearing reflections on the text made the program feel less intimidating. During those listens, there were occasional mentions of the fellowship and meeting, but I was still hesitant. But something started to shift. On my 1-year anniversary of stopping drinking, August of 2025, I built up the courage to walk into a meeting right next door to where I work. I survived. My thinking was, check that box. I don't have to go ever again. But I went a week later, then to another meeting that same week. And now I'm going regularly, have a sponsor, and I'm not just reading about the steps, I'm actually working them. The fellowship and the program have made all the difference. I'm grateful that I finally walked through the doors. I'll be a year and 6 months next week, and I'm excited to hit that milestone. Thanks for being part of the journey, Henry P. First of all, thank you so much, Henry. And I asked Henry a follow-up question about, this AA phobia. What would you give? What advice would you give for anybody who might have this, AA recovery kind of phobia? And here's what he had to say. Great stuff, by the way. Sure, here would be my advice. Go in with an open heart and an open mind. It feels like a cult. It's not. Nobody will ask you to sell all your furniture and move into a compound. Nobody will demand your life savings, and you can walk at any time. It feels like a religion. It's not. You get to choose your own higher power. But it is like a religion in that it asks you to please be a decent human being. And that's a good thing. People will reach out to offer help. Don't be creeped out. I was. They can and will help. Let them. If you like learning, you'll love it. You will learn a ton about yourself. Be humble, be honest, be yourself. In the words of Cheap Trick, surrender, surrender. Now I want to sing that. And the program will work for you. Thanks for everything, Rob. Henry P. All right. Thank you so much, Henry, for the email. And I just think that's so powerful. First of all, he had some really kind things to say about the podcast, so I cut that out of privacy, but I do want to say thank you so much, Henry, for the kind words, man. You have no idea how much that means. But I have to say that for anyone who thanks me, I feel funny about it because, to be honest with you, I do this because it helps my soul. It helps me to do this podcast. But y'all are helping me more than I'm helping you all. And that's the beauty of this program. And, he talks about the program. And I really have to commend you for putting in the work. Sounds like you were reading a lot of other recovery literature as well. And those podcasts that he mentioned, there are so many good podcasts out there about sobriety. There's a ton out there. And he brought up a few that I've not heard of before, so I'm going to check out, and I appreciate that. But then he also talks about how he was afraid of AA. He had his preconceived notions about what AA was going to be like. And I'm right there with you, Henry. I was the same exact way. I really didn't want to go, but I was desperate enough to give it a try. But I think yours is so interesting in that you just decided one day, you know what, I'll give it a try. I think that's amazing that you just did it on your own like that. And then your advice. I cannot agree more with you on this. And I think he brings up a good point. He says, it feels like a cult. It's not. Nobody will ask you to sell your furniture, and nobody will demand your life savings. You can walk at any time. That is so true. Really doesn't demand anything of us. But when I show up, I might actually learn something and be of service to somebody else. And I love the follow-up. It feels like a religion, but it's not. You get to choose your own higher power. And he is a Buddhist and I am a Christian. But yet we both can get so much out of these steps. And the book would address agnostics and people of so many different beliefs, right? These spiritual tools are broad enough to where they could be for anybody. These steps are a vehicle for us to connect closer to our higher power, to be a decent human being, just like Henry said beautifully. People reach out to offer help. Don't be creeped out. I was. I can relate to that too. I always kept thinking there's no way these people could be this genuine. But I found out that it's true. Now, that it's true. Now, is the fellowship all rainbows and sunshine? No. I've heard some horror stories. We are human beings after all. We're all sick patients and, we're kind of in this hospital, right? People are people. But at least in my experience, and it sounds like Henry's too, overall, we're people that are trying to do the right thing. We're trying to live a life of integrity. Because at first I kept thinking, what is their angle? What are they wanting out of this? What are they trying to get out of this? Which in reality, I was right. It helps their sobriety too. And then finally he says, be humble, be honest, be yourself. Be true to thine own self, right? In the words of Cheat Tricks, surrender, and the program will work for you. And he says you'll learn a ton about yourself. That is the truth. You'll learn a ton about yourself, a ton about this whole spiritual experience. Everything will change. And it works if you work it. So thank you, Henry, so much for this email. I think this is going to help a lot of people who might be on the fence about this whole, AA stuff. I love it. But my friends, that's all we have time for today. I hope you all have a great day today. I hope you all know that if you are sober, you are a miracle. And you're giving a great gift to those around you. And you have a unique superpower to help somebody else. And if you're not sober, my friend, I hope you know that you're a miracle as well. You have great worth and value, and you're worthy of recovery. And your story is not done yet. I promise you that. I just pray that you get the help that you need today to make that first step, whatever that might look like for you. And to quote Joey Ramone. I believe in miracles because I am one. Have a great day, everyone.